Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to look at the 13-game Tuesday slate. So let's get right into it. Before we get started, there's a couple things I have to tell you guys about. But before we get into even that, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video and subscribe. And you can hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload. But the thing I want to tell you guys about is draft.com. So most of you guys probably already know what it is. It's a fantasy sports site that's not salary cap based. They've been around for a couple years. Like, they've been partners with some big fantasy YouTube sites and some fantasy sports sites in general. But anyway, they were nice enough to partner with me. So if you use the promo code TheDFSProcess when you create an account on draft.com, they give you a free $3 ticket to try out their product. And it's the perfect time to sign up because they just posted their amazing football contest, $25, $1 million to first place. That right there is enough to create an account on that site. So I'm definitely going to be playing that contest. But yeah, $1 million is like 166,000 people in it. So at least like 70,000, 80,000 less than the DraftKings Millie Maker. So like I said, if you use a promo code here for new accounts, you can get a free $3 ticket. And I already posted my NFL Early Bird special. I posted early just because I like to. But we can visit the website right here. As you see the URL, dfsprocess.net, to get in on that. And I'll post the draft.com stuff in the comments too if you want to support me and support that site. But let's get into the picks today. So like I said, like and subscribe down below. It's a big slate today, 13 games for the main slate. Even though it's a huge slate, we don't have that many good pitching options at the top, like too many aces. Like Strasburg's good, but he's facing the Braves and Atlanta. Montas is 11-3 against a low strikeout team in the Angels. Hill is 10-8 against a Mets team. Even though that's a good spot for him, he doesn't throw that many pitches. He's gotten pulled at 85 pitches 3 times, 3 out of his 5 starts. I like Giolito a lot. He's been the best pitcher. He's been really, really good as of late. And he pitches deep into games. They have no problem letting him go over 100 pitches when he's pitching well. It's a really, really good spot against the Royals team. They strike out a decent amount. And Giolito has been a top prospect for many years for the White Sox. And everything's starting to come together for him this season. He has just 36 hits allowed in 52 innings, 59 strikeouts, and he put up a complete game shutout against the Astros, which is amazing. He also has kind of figured out some of his walk troubles that really affected him last season. So at 9,900, I like Giolito. I like the spot for him, given the lack of really elite spots at the top. And then second pitcher I'm going to go with is going to be another guy against Texas. It's going to be a lefty against Texas once again, Marco Gonzalez. $6,900, a really good price tag for him. His price tag is really cheap considering how expensive it was the other spots. He was 71 last start, 78, 89, 87, 84, 8,000. So down to 6,900 against the Rangers, a team that he has had a lot of success against in his career. First start against them was in Safeco where he put up 34. Second start was recently. That was in Texas when it was super hot. And we know that park, when it's hot, the ball flies. So he struggled there, only had 14.4, but he still went 7 innings, only gave up 1 earned run. He has upside in this matchup. He's averaging over 24 DraftKings points. And I feel like at this price tag, the fact that he's pitching at home, it all seems make a lot of sense to play him here. So I like him a lot at 6,900 a pair with Giolito. So for stacks today, I'm really going to try to focus on the Coors a lot. I love the Coors. With both pitchers are extremely bad in Merrill Kelly and Sensatella. Kelly only lasted an inning and 2/3 last start. He doesn't get many swings and misses. His stuff gets hit pretty hard, and he's not known to strike many guys out. He's given up some home runs, 8 home runs in 53 innings. So I feel like it's a really, really good spot for him. He also struggles a lot with the walks. He had a 7-walk game already this year. So I like this Rockies team a ton with the way they've been swinging the bat. And then same thing with the Diamondbacks. They've been crushing the ball. And they get a matchup against Sensatella, who's once again struggles with the walks, just like Kelly. He gives up a ton of hits, gives up a lot of home runs as well, and he doesn't get many Ks. Only 27 strikeouts in 42 innings. Load up on both teams on this slate. And then if you're looking for some value, we have a couple of really cheap guys on the Astros. And we'll talk about one of them that I really like. But they get to face John Lester, and Lester's numbers are starting to regress. The past couple starts, he's given up a ton of hits. Gave up 7 hits in just 4 innings, 10 hits in 4 innings, 9 hits and 8 hits his last 4 starts. So all the advanced numbers that signal regression for him are starting to really, you're starting to really notice them in his starts. Even though the ERA sits pretty at 2.68, it won't be long before that ERA starts to go up. Just with the way he's been pitching, he has not been pitching as good as he was the first month of the year. And this Astros team is extremely dangerous. A lefty against Houston with the wind blowing out. They have a 5-run total. So those are like the 3 teams I really want to stack. And then we have a couple of cheap guys that I'll talk about. But I love Giolito. Love Giolito. And then I'll plug in my second pitcher and I'll get into the bats. And Gonzalez. So first up is going to be a second baseman. Second base isn't a particularly deep position on DraftKings today. Besides Marte, there's not a ton of guys that you will really want to play here. Which is why I have no problem going all the way down at second base, and I mean all the way down to the last guy on the picks, last playable guy in Jack Mayfield. So the reason he's going to get some playing time is because Altuve is probably going to miss at least one more game, and Diaz is on the IL, so he's got called up to play second base for the Astros. Both guys are on the IL. Altuve is going to come back soon. I think they said Wednesday, so he should get one more start here Tuesday. Is Mayfield. And his first start, he looked pretty good. He had a double and an RBI, and he didn't strike out either in 4 at-bats. And in the minor leagues, he hit 283 with a 5.72 slugging, so you know he has some power. And Fantasy Labs likes the Astros a lot today. I mean, not Fantasy Labs. Vegas likes them a lot today. They have a 5.1 total, 81 team rating, and he's projected about 7th, which isn't terrible because he's probably going to get a lot of opportunities to get RBIs. Probably going to come out with runners on base against Leicester with the wind blowing out here. So I just like him a lot just because he's dirt cheap. You can't get cheaper than $2,000. And playing a guy this cheap allows you to pay up for pitching, but it also allows you to pay up for your Coors bats. And that's why it allows me to pay up for Arenado, who's been on absolute fire. I don't know what other word to use besides unbelievably good. He has a 7-game multi-hit streak. So it's not just a 7-game hitting streak. 7 games with at least 2 hits. He has 3 hits in 2 of them. And he's just been tearing the cover off the ball. It's a tremendous matchup here against Merrill Kelly, who has been pretty bad to right-handed hitters this season, and he doesn't get many strikeouts either. So we'll look at him. We'll look at the numbers for Kelly. But just the way that Arenado's been swinging the bat, he's been able to crush righties and lefties, and in Coors, the Rockies have the highest total on the slate for a really good reason, because Kelly has given up a 5.05 slugging to right-handed hitters this season. He only has a 17.5% K rate to righties. His xFIP is 5.55, and he gives up a 43% fly ball rate, which is extremely high. So Arenado, good chance that he can crush a couple against this pitcher. And the outfield, went with the Rockies. My favorite Diamondback is going to be Ketel Marte. The way he's been hitting the ball extremely well, just like Arenado. Lots of power recently, 3 home runs in his last 4 games. He has a little bit of speed, 3 stolen bases, not known to get a ton of steals, but the matchup against Senzatella is really, really good. Senzatella gives up a ton of hard contact. Marte's been hitting right at the top of the order, and he's been the hottest Diamondback hitter on the team. So I have no problem paying this much for him, because when you get a $2,000 guy that you can play as second or shortstop that's actually playable given the matchup and given the high total that the team has, and you pay down a pitcher for Gonzalez, you can easily pay up for your studs. And Marte is a stud, and Arenado is a stud on the slate. So those guys I really feel good about. And then you want another cheap guy. I got another cheap guy for you, and I mean extremely cheap. Look how far we have to scroll down for this guy. At least 100 players we're scrolling down, maybe in 150, I'm not sure. But you have to scroll down all this far. You pass guys that haven't even played this season, I don't know how to say this guy's name, but the guy on the Phillies, the guy on the Cubs, Yasmani Tomas. I don't know whatever happened to him. He must have fell off the face of the earth. But Shohei Ohtani is $3,300. DraftKings are really messed up here on his price tag. His average price tag since he's been back from his injury has been $43.17. He's over $1,000 cheaper than that. He's only had 66 at-bats this season because he was hurt for a lot of it. And lately he hasn't been swinging the bat very well. But I don't really care. When you get a guy this cheap that has this much power against right-handed pitching, and the matchup against Montas is better than it looks, because Montas's struggles have come against left-handed hitters, especially lefties with power. And Shohei Ohtani has a ton of power, so we'll look at both players. So Frankie Montas this season has given up a 402 slugging to lefties, 265 average. He's been really good against righties. And for his career, Montas has been much, much worse to left-handed hitters. 299 batting average given up to lefties and a 520 slugging and a 377 WOBA. So those numbers look good for Ohtani, as does Ohtani's numbers against right-handed pitching since the start of 2018 season. So this season, it's been a limited sample size for him, so his numbers do not reflect it because he hasn't been hitting righties well, even though for the minors and last season he crushed righties. So I expect these numbers to completely flip because in 2018 he was not able to hit left-handed pitching well. He only had a 222 average against lefties, but he had a 313 average against righties, had 20 home runs. That was a ridiculous ISO since he wasn't an everyday player because he was pitching too. 344 ISO against right-handed pitching last season, 656 slugging. And last season, he was hitting the ball really, really well at home, even though that park is pretty big. And so I feel really good about him, even in this big park in Oakland. So $3,300 for Ohtani is extremely, extremely cheap. Like, doesn't get much cheaper than that. But those are the picks I like. Give you guys a couple pitchers that I like. 2 stud hitters and 2 cheap hitters to make it round everything out. As well as you have $4,000 to fill it out. Or you can visit the website to get the full lineups. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching. You can visit draft.com and you can use my promo code. I'll put all that stuff in the comments. DFS process is the promo code to get your free ticket when you make a new account and you deposit. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it.